Hello, you're tuning in the English News Bulletin on QPVN channel. I'm Nguyễn, and now let me keep you up to date with the headlines. President Reup hosts talk with Timor-Leste counterpart. Hanoi defensive area exercise to be held. Vietnamese food on Paris Olympics menu. On August 1st, at the Presidential Palace, President Reup held talks with Timor-Leste counterpart José Ramos Horta. Warmly welcoming President of Timor-Leste, President Reup emphasized that the visit, the third by Ramos Horta to Vietnam, including two as the President of Timor-Leste, will create new momentum for collaboration between the two countries, while thanking the leaders and people of Timor-Leste for their good feelings towards Vietnam. The Vietnamese leader congratulated Timor-Leste for its socio-economic achievements, expressing his wish that the country will successfully realize its plan on national strategic development in the 2011-2030 period, helping it integrate more deeply into the world and making positive contributions to peace, prosperity, and development in the region. Thanking the warm and thoughtful welcome of Vietnamese state and people for the delegation, President Ramos Horta expressed his admiration for the revolutionary career as well as national construction and development of Vietnamese leaders and people, describing Vietnam as a model of development. He affirmed that Timor-Leste attaches great importance to and hopes to further bolster the sound friendship with Vietnam. He took the occasion to once again express his deep condolences over the passing of General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng. The two leaders agreed to increase exchanges and meetings at high and all levels in the coming time, while efficiently implementing the framework agreement on economic and technical cooperation, working for the early organization of the first meeting of the Vietnam-Timor-Leste Joint Committee at the foreign minister level, and considering establishing new bilateral mechanisms suitable to the cooperation demands of the two countries. Discussing regional and international issues of shared concern, the two sides concurred to continue to cooperate with and support each other at international and regional organizations. The President highly evaluated the determination and efforts by Timor-Leste in realizing the roadmap to become a full member of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, affirming Vietnam's support to Timor-Leste's full ASEAN membership at the early date. Following the talks, the two leaders witnessed the signing of an agreement on bilateral visa exemption for diplomatic and official passport holders. On this occasion, Ramos Horta invited President Reup to visit Timor-Leste. The latter accepted the invitation and promised to arrange the visit at a suitable time. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính, accompanied by a high-ranking Vietnamese delegation, paid a state visit to India from July the 30th to August the 1st at the invitation of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Following the welcome ceremony, the two prime ministers held talks early on August the 1st. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính and his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi agreed to further consolidate traditional areas of cooperation and expand to new potential areas under the model of 5 more, which are greater political and strategic trust, deeper defense and security cooperation, more substantive and effective vision and actions in economic, trade and investment cooperation, stronger scientific and technological cooperation and innovation, and closer cultural tourism and people-to-people exchanges. After talking about various regional and global issues, the two leaders decided to stand by one another and work closely together in forums led by the UN, ASEAN, and other organizations. They also agreed to uphold the principles of maintaining security, safety, and freedom of navigation and aviation, as well as peacefully resolving disputes based on international law, such as the 1982 UN Clause. 9 cooperation documents, including the Action Program for the Vietnam-India Comprehensive Strategic Partnership for the 2024-2028 period, and a diplomatic note about Vietnam's accession to the CDRI were also exchanged between the two parties following the talks. Earlier, the two prime ministers announced the adoption of the joint statement on strengthening the comprehensive strategic partnership and inaugurated a military software park in Nha Trang City in the south-central coastal province of Khánh Hòa, Vietnam. Also on August the 1st in Hanoi, National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn hosted a reception for Mr. Tokei Kisaburo, member of the House of Representatives of Japan and chairperson of the Policy Research Council under the Liberal Democratic Party. National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn highly appreciated the important role of Mr. Tokei, as was the Liberal Democratic Party's Policy Research Council in formulating important socio-economic policies, including nearly 70 bills passed at the recent 213th session of the National Legislature of Japan in various fields. To further enhance the bilateral relations, the Vietnamese top legislator suggested continuing to intensify the exchange of high-level and all-level delegations, increase exchanges between parliamentarians, especially young and female parliamentarians, and strengthen the sharing of legislative experiences between the two countries. Regarding economic cooperation, Japan continues to support Vietnam in its industrialization and modernization efforts and in ensuring economic independence and integration into the global economy, improving the investment environment and addressing issues related to ODA and FDI cooperation between the two nations. Regarding education and training, the Vietnamese top legislator suggested Japan continue to support Vietnam in training strategic level officials and leaders and boost cooperation in student exchanges by increasing the number of scholarships for Vietnamese students to go to Japan. For his part, Mr. Tokei Kisaburo extended his deepest condolences to the party, state, and people of Vietnam over the passing of General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng. He expressed his confidence that, under the leadership of the National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn, the Vietnamese legislature will develop further and the relationship between the two parliaments will continue to be strengthened in the time ahead. The same day in Hanoi, the Party Central Committee's Commission for Information and Education held a reunion to celebrate the 94th anniversary of its founding day. Head of the Commission, Nguyễn Trọng Nghĩa, attended the event. Speaking at the meeting, Mr. Nguyễn Trọng Nghĩa affirmed that over the past 94 years of construction and development, the sector has well fulfilled its role and responsibility, always maintained its leading and pioneering position in the party's leadership work in any circumstances. In the first 6 months of this year alone, the Commission has developed 15 projects to review the party's resolutions, directives, and conclusions, advised the Politburo and Secretariat to issue 10 new documents. In the coming time, the sector will actively participate in summarizing theoretical and practical issues over the past 40 years of the country's renewal, making practical contributions to the development of draft documents for party congresses at all levels and especially the 14th National Party Congress, proactively advising the party committees to direct solutions for information and education work in all fields. A conference was held on the afternoon of August the 1st by the Party Committee of Hanoi to grasp and implement preparation work for the defensive area exercise of the capital city. Secretary of Hanoi Party Committee Bùi Thị Minh Hoài, head of the steering committee on the exercise in 2024, chaired the conference. The event also saw the attendance of Lieutenant General Nguyễn Doãn Anh, Deputy Chief of the General Staff. The Hanoi Defensive Area Exercise in 2024 is an important military defense task for the 2020-2025 term of the Hanoi Party Committee, contributing to raising the awareness of party committees, authorities, and the masses about building and operating the defensive area, building a solid all-people defense posture associated with the people's security disposition, meeting the requirements of protecting the fatherland in the new situation. Ms. Bùi Thị Minh Hoài lauded relevant agencies and departments for their coordination and good implementation of the exercise preparation work to ensure progress and quality. She also asked them to coordinate with the Ministry of National Defense Steering Committee to deploy tasks as planned. Continuing the working visit to the U.S. on the afternoon of July the 31st local time, the mission of the Vietnam National Steering Committee 515, led by Senior Lieutenant General Võ Minh Lương, Deputy Minister of National Defense and Deputy Head of the Committee, had a working session with Senator Jeff Merkley, Chair of the Subcommittee on Interior, Environment and Related Agencies of the U.S. Senate Committee on Appropriations. Both sides highly appreciated the results of cooperation between Vietnam and the U.S. in the recent times, especially since the two countries upgraded their comprehensive strategic partnership. In particular, cooperation in overcoming post-war consequences continues to be a priority area in the relationship between the two countries. Senator Jeff Merkley affirmed that in the coming time, the U.S. will continue to coordinate and provide resources for Vietnam in projects on dioxin remediation, mine action, and render support for people with disabilities and victims of Agent Orange dioxin, while coordinating with the Vietnamese side to strengthen the mass dissemination about the results of cooperation between the two countries.
Coming up next, Vietnamese food on Paris Olympics menu. Two Vietnamese representatives in world's most beloved boat experiences. Vietnam's two popular dishes of pho or noodle soup and nem or spring rolls have been chosen by host France to serve athletes at the 2024 Paris Olympics. The fact that host country France decided to put pho and spring rolls on the menu for the 2024 Paris Olympics is an opportunity to promote traditional Vietnamese cuisine to international friends.
Pho is served in 3 main meals with its nutrition information published on the official system. The organizing committee also gives special favor to spring rolls, which is introduced as Vietnamese cuisine. It is Vietnamese culinary specialties made up of thin rice pancakes filled with vegetables, rice vermicelli, and sometimes meat such as pork, chicken, and prawns.
TripAdvisor, the world's leading travel site, has announced the world's 25 most exciting boating experiences, of which Vietnam has 2 activities listed in the rankings.
According to TripAdvisor, a trip exploring Lan Ha Bay, Hạ Long Bay, and Do Bay Island ranked 3rd in the list. Meanwhile, the bamboo basket boat experience in Cẩm Thành Coconut Forest, Hội An City stands at the 19th place among the world's top 25 most exciting boating experiences in 2024. The trip exploring Lan Ha Bay, Hạ Long Bay, and Do Bay Island offers tourists the chance to discover tranquil, less crowded destinations with crystal clear waters, stunning rock formations, and smooth, white sandy beaches. Visitors to the Cẩm Thành Coconut Forest can relax on a basket boat and enjoy the pure air of the countryside away from the urban area.
After about 2.5 years of closure for restoration, the Hai Vân Gate National Architectural and Historical Relic on the top of Hai Vân Pass has been officially put into operation. Many locals and tourists have come to admire the revival of an important construction project of the military defense system in the south of Hue Citadel after a long period of closure. Let's visit Hai Vân Gate on August the 1st, the first day it was opened to visitors.
The Hai Vân Gate relic was built in 1826 under the Nguyen dynasty, was once an important military fortification guarding at the top of Hai Vân Pass. After many years of ruins, this relic was under restoration work, which was jointly funded by Thừa Thiên Huế Province and Da Nang City. On the first day of reopening after restoration, the relic complex attracted many domestic and foreign tourists who wished to learn about its cultural and historical values. I came here before, but it was desolate. After restoration work, this site becomes a fine destination for tourists. The relic site has been restored very well. I was very surprised at this magnificent relic site. From here, we can see the wonderful scenery, which is very ideal for beautiful photos. It is great. From a desolate relic, Hai Vân Quan has been restored with the entire defensive structures, including gate, arsenals, headquarters, and cannon forts. We'll continuously coordinate with the locality to establish management teams, then building a project to report to the 2 localities of Thừa Thiên Huế and Da Nang, thus developing a project to promote the value of Hai Vân Gate. After restoration, the relic site is expected to not only preserve its cultural and historical value through nearly 200 years, but also contribute to promoting the value of an attractive destination known as the world's most marvelous wonder.
And that's all for now. Remember, you can always watch news again at qpvn.vn. Now thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.